Thank you, Caroline. And I'd like to thank the Labour senators for bringing this important bill to the House. I fundamentally support the measures contained within this bill to undo some of the damage historically inflicted by this state on the LGBTQI plus community. While an apology and exoneration will do little for the men prosecuted under the relevant acts, it would be an important step for us to recognise the indefensibility of those prosecutions and attempt to rectify the damage that was done by the state to gay men and those close to them in the past. It seems surreal that at a time of such increasing acceptance of the LGBTQI plus community in this country, that it was only 1993 that homosexual acts were decriminalised in Ireland. With the passage of the Criminal Justice Sexual Offences Bill, which passed final stages in this House only 24 years ago in this June. It is a sad reality that historically Ireland's record on LGBT plus equality has been a noticeable stain on our record of commitment to human rights. However, in what is surely one of the most welcome political developments of recent years, we have seen a reversal of this trend and increased recognition of the civil equality of our LGBT plus citizens. This is evidenced by the major legislative initiatives in recent years, such as legislation of civil partnership in 2010, the passage of the historic Gender Recognition Bill in 2015, and that incredible day for politics in this country 2 years ago, when Ireland became the first country in the world to enshrine civil marriage rights for same-sex couples in our constitution by popular vote. I am, of course, not the first person in this House to pay tribute to that day in May. I often hear my colleagues in both houses of the Oireachtas paying tribute to what happened on that day and the positive and progressive shift that it showed, hailing it as a landmark day for Irish politics and the true achievement of equality for our LGBT plus citizens. While in many ways I do share that sentiment and I fully recognise what a special day that was for many people, I do often feel that because there is such a strong perception that equality was secured for LGBT plus people with the marriage referendum, that the urgency of the fight for LGBT plus advancement and our ongoing commitment to always be looking for avenues to improve the lives of LGBT plus citizens has dissipated somewhat. I think it's easy to look at the referendum result and think that civil marriage rights for LGBT plus people was the apex of the fight for equality for a long marginalised community. What I think is much harder to do is to view the result of that referendum as simply a significant marker in a much longer process, that while increasing civil equality is important, it is by no means the only way we can measure the true equality of LGBT plus people in this state. I do think that if we start to expand the markers by which we measure that equality, we can start to see just how much more work needs to be done to help our LGBT plus citizens. For example, our transgender citizens under the age of 18 and those who identify as gender non-binary are still not adequately accommodated for this under the Gender Recognition Act. This needs to be changed, and I call on the Government to consider such changes as we approach the Act's review period. Another issue that is, while I welcome the recent decision by Minister Harris to lift the lifetime ban of MSM blood donation, I have to ask why he has decided to maintain a one-year deferral period when, as far as I can tell, there is no scientific evidence to justify such a deferral, and indeed many European countries do not have one in place. The continued existence of such a ban is discriminatory, stigmatising, and will in practice still exclude many MSM who wish to donate blood. Moreover, I'd like to applaud the government of Malta for being the first European country to ban gay conversion therapy last month. I think it would be a significant statement of Ireland's commitment to LGBT equality if we were to consider enacting a similar ban in the Oireachtas. Another issue relates to worrying statistics relating to LGBT homelessness, mental health, LGBT plus sex education and suicide. Last year, a paper called Swimming with the Sharks was published by the University of Queensland, which documents the hugely detrimental and damaging impact that the No campaign during the marriage referendum had on the mental health and well-being of those in the Irish LGBT community. In light of this and the concerning statistics, I do think that we should be considering targeted national efforts to deal with these problems. Another worrying statistic is the recent increase in levels of HIV prevalence amongst MSM, with 377 new cases in 2014, and the rise of trends such as chemsex. As a result, I think we should be debating how to expand the availability of and information relating to the preventative drug PrEP and improving LGBT+ specific sexual education in schools. I was recently also contacted by a retired Trinity College lecturer whose same-sex partner pensions entitlements were denied as the lecturer had not been married by the age of 60. This despite the fact that civil partnerships were not even legal before he turned 60. I understand that this extraordinary unfair administrative anomaly will be dealt with by Senator Batchik's recently introduced 2016 pensions bill, which is very welcome. I do not raise these issues to paint a negative picture of how the state treats LGBT+ people. I simply want to raise the point that when we are considering how we can make amends on LGBT+ citizens who were wronged by this state in the past, and this worthy bill does, we should also take the opportunity to consider how we can best support Irish LGBT+ people in the here and now and going forward into the future. All of the changes that face the LGBT community in this country were not solved on May 22nd. All the challenges that face that same community today will not be solved by the passage of this legislation. However, they do represent significant markers in a process that, if coupled with concerted efforts and actual changes across a range of policy areas, small and large, will strengthen the equality of our LGBT+ citizens in the future. I'm proud to support this bill today. Thank you.